Okay, is my screen visible to you? Is my screen visible to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell me what do you know what is Kubernetes?
Kubernetes is a means a cluster in Docker. We are you
Yeah. So
Kubernetes is a
Kubernetes is
cluster
basically
orchestration tool.
no. Kubernetes is basically a container orchestration tool. Orchestration tool means
Yeah.
whenever
Contain.
we create any multiple containers and we want to run it at the same time. So Kubernetes helps us to maintain or monitor those containers, to monitor its health, if it is working or not. If it is not working, then destroy it and create a new cluster for it. So that is Kubernetes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kubernetes is basically developed by the Google itself
Okay.
to operate or to monitor, to manage the containers, the Docker containers. Okay.
Okay.
So on AWS, so first I'll search for kubeadmin. Okay, so kubeadmin is a software where we can use Kubernetes. So there are multiple software. For now, I'm using kubeadmin as my cluster.
Okay.
Okay, so first how to install, I'll go to installation guide. Before you begin, it says we require 2 GB of RAM and 2 CPU of memory. Uh, CPU, 2 CPUs we require and 2 GB of memory.
Yeah.
Okay,
Requirement.
so for that we are going to create machines on EC2.
Yeah.
I'll launch instance. I'll give a master node. So basically, to Kubernetes to monitor something, they have worker nodes and master nodes. Master nodes where we can find everything, like to management of the worker nodes as well as the monitoring of the clusters or monitoring of the containers. And worker
Okay.
nodes are basically handling those things.
Okay.
Okay, so first I'll create a master node. I'll go with the Amazon Linux. Then it says we required 2 GB of RAM and 2 CPUs, but in free tier we get only one CPU and one memory. So
Okay.
we
Yeah.
have to move ahead with the T2 medium,
Okay.
that we
T2
have
meeting.
2 CPU and 4 GB of RAM.
Yeah.
That will be plenty for us. So I'll go with that. Then I'll select a key pair. If you don't have a key, you can directly create a key. So using that key, you can only access your created instance. Okay, so I
Okay.
have one key pair. I'll select that. Then a security group. I have one security group. I'll select that one also. If I compare, and you can see here, uh, check require port. So it's basically requires 6443. Okay, so
Yeah.
this port has to be added under our security group. So I selected Jenkins Terraform and said this is basically created by me and it has a port 6443.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I'm choosing this port number. You can use this port as well for upcoming projects like Terraform and Prometheus and Grafana. Okay,
Okay.
and our last, I'll just launch instance. So my master node is launching. So I'll require to create worker node as well. So for the demonstration, I'll create only one worker node. Worker node, Amazon Linux, T2, medium, key pair is same, and security group will also same, and launch instance. Okay. So my master node and worker node are going to be launched. We'll wait for some time.
Both master node and worker node are T2 dot medium.
Yeah, because kubeadmin can only be installed on 2 GB and 2 CPU, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why they
Okay.
both are T2 medium.
Okay.
We can set up using and a service called EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. We can here use T2 macro, that is free tier, but for the installation of a cluster, how we can create cluster using kubeadmin. So for that, we'll use EC2 machines, that is T2 medium.
Okay.
Remember, T2 medium is not a free service. You will be
Okay.
getting charged if you keep them running.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Okay, so the my both servers are running and its security checks to be completed. Okay, so my master node is completed. Security check pass. We'll connect to the master node. I'll select connect and then copy. Then I'll open CMD, navigate to my download folder since I have that PIM file under downloads, and then press the link, enter, and yes. So I am successfully connected to my machine. I'll rename it as a master node. This is my master node. I'll create one more, and first I'll check if it is, no, it is still checking something. Okay, so worker nodes status checks are done. I'll connect to it, navigate to downloads folder, press. Okay, I'll connect it to my worker node as well as master node.
Okay, Master. Okay, so okay,
first, as it is a container monitoring tool, so we first required a Docker to be installed on both of the machine.
patience.
So first I go to sudo SEO. I'll go to the root user on master and worker as well. Then I'll type yum install docker -y. So it is going to install Docker
Yeah,
here as well. Yum install docker -y. So Docker is being installed. Okay, Docker is installed. Now I'll start the Docker using systemctl start Docker. Okay, Docker is being starting, and here as well. Start Docker. So Docker is started on worker and masternode as well. Now we'll see how we can install the kubeadmin. So before we check this thing, we have our port number, installing container runtime. So for this, I have installed Docker that can be handling our containers.
okay,
Then installing kubeadmin, kubelet, and kubectl. So for this, this is Red Hat based machine. So I'll go to Red Hat based distribution. So first I need to set AC Linux to permissive mode. So I'll copy these two commands, paste it under my master node, enter. These two work, worker node as well, enter. These two also work. Now this. Okay. So I what I have did is, you can see here first we set the Linux as a permissive mode. Permissive
okay,
mode means whatever I am going to send this data, this type of data is going to be written in this location, and I need to give permission to this root user to make those changes. Okay,
okay,
so that's why I set our Linux to a permissive mode. Then package, whatever the Kubernetes package we require, we type those data of those package under this location. Okay, we created,
yeah,
so basically we created a repository under Kubernetes, and using this repository we are going to install using this command.
Okay.
So I'll copy and paste on every method and it is going to be installed. Okay, on boot machine, kubeadmin is going to be installed.
Okay.
Okay, kubeadmin is installed successfully here as well. Kubeadmin installed successfully. Now I need to enable my kubeadmin. So using this command, kubelet is enabled here as well. Kubelet is enabled, and I am going to start my kubelet. Kubelet is going to be start. Okay, kubelet started on both of the machine. So I'll check if it is working. If I check status, it is
Enable.
loaded.
Loaded.
Node agent and it is enabled. So
Yeah.
currently we don't have any cluster setup. That's why it's saying loaded. Once we set up a cluster and attach to someone, then it will show it is active and running. Okay.
Okay.
I can check for Docker as well. Systemctl status Docker. Yeah, Docker is saying active and running.
Yeah.
Okay, so Docker is running. I'll clear this. Here also I'll clear. So we installed kubeadmin, but we haven't started creating any cluster yet. First, I have to reload
Kubeadmin
the
is a
daemon.
tool.
Sorry.
Kubeadmin is a tool for create cluster.
Yeah, kubeadmin is a tool for Kubernetes,
Okay.
and Kubernetes is responsible to create the clusters. So basically, we called it as a cluster. In the cluster, we have worker nodes, and those
Okay.
are by calling a nodes. The basic, like the definitive word term for that is pods.
Okay.
Okay, worker pods, that is they say, and each
Mm.
worker pods have their own containers to be running, and
Okay.
we are going to create something like if one we ask one container or one pod to set up the MySQL server, the second one to the front end server, third one to the
Yeah.
back end server, and each pod is working at the same time, and this our master node or a master a cluster is going to monitor those pods.
Okay.
Okay, if any one of the pod fails to respond, then this master node is automatically going to destroy that pod and creates its own copy at the
Okay.
same time, so that non-working pod is destroyed and working pod is created
Okay.
simultaneously. So
Yeah.
this is how we can monitor or we can make changes or orchestrate the Kubernetes containers.
Okay.
Okay, so daemon.service is not found. Okay, no problem. So now on master node, I've installed Docker, I've installed Kubernetes, kubeadmin and all. Now kubectl or it is kubectl. Okay, not kubectl. I need to type kubeadm. So now with this command, kubeadm init is going to create a cluster. Okay,
Okay.
enter. So it is taking, it will take some time to create a cluster. It will do some pre-file checking.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically it's an empty cluster. So sometime it will show you some errors like this: warning, file exists TC. TC is not found in system path because we
Mm.
don't have any
File.
Kubernetes or we can say
Yeah.
any container right now. in
Yeah.
our system. So it will going to create an empty cluster.
Cluster. Yeah.
Okay, cluster is
Okay.
created. You Kubernetes container initiative initialized successfully.
Successful.
Okay, to start using cluster, you need to run the following command as a regular user. So I'll run these commands one by one. Okay, and if you are not, if you are root user, you can run this. So basically, these three commands are you to
For
set up.
configuration.
Yeah, it's a configuration to allow the user to perform Kubernetes task.
Okay.
And then this export, these things will going to set up the port numbers for us. Okay,
Okay.
sometimes you receive errors like port, did you mention the right port or host, because sometimes ports are not like they are already occupied, they are not used for Kubernetes. At that time you will receive those message.
Okay.
Okay, so at when we receive that message, we need to reload our kubeadmin. Okay,
Okay.
so we started our cluster. If I check now, so you can see kubectl get nodes, it's an internal node, only one node control plane, that means this machine only.
Yeah.
It is working. Now you should deploy pod network to a cluster. So we have to assign network, like this cluster is going to be worked at different locations, different, like those nodes are not going to be in the same machine, they are going to be happening under different servers, or we can say a different computers. So at that time,
Uh,
to make those communication, we need to set up the network for this pod or for this cluster as well.
yes.
Okay, so using
Hmm.
by setting this network, we are going to add our worker node in this network, in master network. And whenever we type any command, like if we have multiple master networks and I say on master node, like I want to install Python on worker 1 and worker 2, and using this network, those commands are going to send under worker 1 and worker 2, and they will accept that command and install the Python. This is
Okay.
how kubeadmin works, or Kubernetes works. Okay, so I need to set up the pod network. So I'll go here. So there are multiple types of networks: ACI, Arena, Calico, Canal, Calium. So basically, most used one is Calico. Okay,
Okay.
is a networking or network policy provider, flexible set
Okay.
of networking options, so you can choose most efficient option for your situation. Okay, so most used is Calico. I'll go with the Calico. Get started. I want networking. Install non-cluster. Not here. Where we can find on-premise one. Can search networking YML. Okay, on-premise one. It is in Kubernetes, self-managed premise and on-premise. Install Calico networking and network policy for on-premise deployment. So this is my working machine, right? It's under my
Okay.
account. So it is on-premise, not off-premise. It's on internet. It's on AWS service. So I'll go with this. Here I'll go to manifest. Then download the Calico networking manifest for Kubernetes. I'll copy this command, paste. It downloaded one file. If I check ls, it is saying calico.yml.
Yeah.
One file is added, and we want to add that file as well, calico.yml. And then kubectl apply calico.yml. Yeah, so it is not accepting because it is saying the connection to the server was refused due to specify right host or port. This is because 6443 is already occupied by something. So what I am going to do is system ctl restart docker, and first I'll restart the docker, and then I'll restart kubectl.
kubectl kubeadmin adm.
Kubeadmin is the command. Kubeadmin is only going to be used for creating cluster or cluster type
Okay.
services, whatever we want to do on cluster. Kubectl is those commands we are going to use when we set up the network, as well as if we want to send commands to other pods.
Okay.
And there is one more, kubelet. Kubelet commands is used to handle or monitor or make changes under containers. Okay, so
Okay.
you can find the difference between three commands. There are
Okay.
kubeadmin, adm,
Yeah.
ctl, and
Kubelet.
kubelet. Okay, these three types of commands they have. We have here about those. Now, the command is bootstrap a cluster. Kubectl is basically depends on the cluster commands. Then
Yeah.
kubelet is a component to run all the machines in a cluster and does things like starting a pod or containers.
Okay.
Okay, so kubelet is going to be worked at the pods, at the containers that they want to start the containers or pods.
In
And
worker
cubes,
nodes.
yeah, working nodes as well.
Yeah.
And kubectl is until you talk to your cluster.
Okay.
Kubectl commands will going to talk to cluster.
Okay.
Like if I want to add something, like if I am a user, I want to install any software on worker 1 and worker 2. So using kubectl, I am giving those
Okay.
commands. Those commands are going to be have to kubeadmin. Kubeadmin
Okay.
verifies if we have those working nodes. If we
Okay.
have working nodes, then kubeadmin send command to kubelet, and kubelet run that command
Okay.
under those
Okay.
working nodes.
Understand.
Okay, so this is
Okay.
how
Okay.
those three commands work. So I'll ctl. Okay, kubectl has no. Lit. Yeah, kubelet. So if I now try to install, it is still saying the right host. Okay, so it's still showing. Okay, if I go normal user and then try. Okay, so normal user network is set up.
Okay.
Okay, so what it is saying, service account, kube controller is created, kube node is created, CNI plugin is created, configuration is created, and API extension for qubits. Authorization is done. RBAC is done. Okay, so basically our setup of network is done. As it
Okay.
our you should now deploy a pod network. It is done. Then you can join any number of worker nodes by running the following command on each as a root. So I'll copy this. So now you can see it's command for kubeadmin because I need to attach worker nodes to the kubeadmin.
Okay.
I'll paste kubeadmin join, enter. It is going to be read and going to be joined. Okay, certification sign-in request was sent to API server and response was received. The kubelet was informed of the new secure connection detail. That means I am connected to my master node. Okay,
Connected
so
this worker node to master node.
Yeah, worker node to master node.
Okay.
Now master node, if I send some commands to master node, like I want to install this service on my worker node, that this one. Okay, so using just commands, I am going to be installed.
Okay.
So use run
We
kubectl
can
get
manage
nodes.
from master node.
Yeah, I can manage this working machine using master
Oh,
node on a control
oh,
plane to see the node join the cluster. If I now check kubectl get nodes, timeout. Why it is timing out? Sudo. The connection to the server 2546443 was refused. Two, 254. Why it is not happening? Failed to reload. Job reload is not applicable for unit kubelet.service. Okay, Docker is reloaded. Kubeadmin is connected on worker node. It should not run, but network is also set up and port number is also added. 6443 and 8080. Both port number is added, but still it refused to connect. Is there anything we do? So using ports earlier, skip the next step. Yeah, 50 node or less. Every time it is refusing.
Yeah.
Let me restart the server. Okay, the server is rebooting. Okay, I'm connected. Eight eight and 644. Please refuse. So Docker is using 2434. Kubelet is running. Okay, now it is working.
Yeah.
So you can see here CTL gate nodes and one nodes, that is our control pen. It is ready. And this machine that we are connected right now, it is not ready because we don't have anything. We don't have set up anything on those nodes. That's why it is saying it is not ready.
Okay.
But it is attached to the cluster.
Yeah.
So there is one command to reload the system. It's a daemon command, but it is not working at my side. I need to find out what the command is. So what I did is I reloaded the master node and it is running now.
Okay.
Okay. So I can also say watch. Yeah. So watch what will it will do. If we make any changes, it will in real time change it. Like now it is saying ready.
Yeah.
Okay. The worker node is created, worker nodes is able to connect to my master node, and
Master
that's why
node.
it is saying ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so those both machines are now ready to execute anything using my control plane as well and the worker node as well. Okay, so this is the setup setup and demo about Kubernetes cluster. This is how you can
Okay.
install Kubernetes cluster on AWS machine.
Okay.
So to summarize, we first need a T2 medium machine because T2 medium provides our 2 CPU and 4 GB of RAM. That is our
Okay.
prerequisites for kube admin. After that, we need to make sure that 6443 is attached to our security group. After that, we
Yeah.
require an container runtime or any container tool that is Docker or anything.
Okay.
After that, we are going to install using the Red Hat bed deviation distribution and the following these commands.
Okay.
Then we need to set up the network for our cluster. After setting the network, we need to restart our machine so that everything works smoothly. After restarting, we are getting our worker nodes by attaching those nodes by typing the command that is already provided by the cluster.
Okay.
So far, do you have any issues?
No. Okay. We done with installation and that container networking.
Yeah, we done the installation, setup of a cluster and set up a network for cluster and attach the working node to a cluster. So next
Okay.
project 5 we have set up a cluster, Prometheus and Grafana. Prometheus and Grafana are the tool like
Okay.
Prometheus monitors the log file of the
Okay.
any working machine and Grafana will convert those log file in a visual format.
Okay.
So those things we'll see under next project.
Okay. After.
Yeah, if you face any issue,
Please,
just ping me
please
out.
share me this recorded video. Then it will
Yeah,
be
I'll
helpful.
upload it. I'll upload it on YouTube, and you can get from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. After I'm 2017 passed out.
17.
Yeah. After that, I worked for 1 year for support engineer, technical support engineer. After that, I prepared for groups examinations, UPSC like that in state level.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I want to I want to go as a 3 years or 4 years experience.
Okay. So basically, most of the works that we do, that a DevOps engineer do, Prometheus and Grafana is not that much important, but most of the work that DevOps engineer do, it's already completed.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I
So
am
there
looking
is
on
a
that.
late something is remains that is working on Kubernetes. Okay.
Yeah.
So first, I'm working on one project where we can demonstrate Jenkins, Docker, Ansible, Terraform, Kubernetes at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. Once that is completed, I'll share that with you. So
Okay.
currently, the Terraform and Ansible is done. Just the
Yeah.
Jenkins and the first project, like the setup, the image uploaded to
Yeah.
there. So what my
Uh,
plan is, I want to
yes.
use first Terraform to create machines. After creating machines using Ansible, I am going to install software on those machines.
Okay.
After installing software like Jenkins, Docker, and all, then I am using Jenkins to create a pipeline and upload my code like we did in first project.
Yeah. ECR.
Yeah, ECR. Upload it on
Yeah.
ECR and using that ECR, I'll run a cluster on one machine
Okay.
and that cluster contains my project, and that project will monitored by Prometheus and Grafana. So
Okay.
currently I'm on this flow. Once
Okay.
the project is complete, I'll share it with you. So that's
Okay.
basically an advanced level of work by a DevOps engineer.
Okay. Means in next after 10 days, I want to keep resume, and I will be
Yeah,
in
you can
onto market.
now if you can talk with Shiva sir, like most of the projects are done. Only the
Okay.
Prometheus and Grafana is refined. You can create one resume. Just talk with it and get ready for your interviews.
Okay. Thank you, After.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I want any guidance